welcome back to another episode of the Lonely Liberal Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Zankin, and I'm so happy to have you on this lovely Sunday. We got a great show for you today. Rick and I are going to go through the news of this week, including Trump calling for the nationalization of elections, him sharing a wicked racist video on Truth Social, and much more. So we got a lot to talk about. So before we get into it, though, please give it a like, subscribe, rate, review, all that stuff. It really does help, and I really do appreciate it. But let's get to it. Alrighty, and we are back with Rick. Rick, what's up, dude?
Hey, not much. How's it going?
Good. You excited for the Super Bowl today?
I am. I'm shocked the Pats got back to the Super Bowl this quickly, but pleasantly surprised. You excited?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we just lost half the audience because people hate the Patriots so much.
Right.
I mean, exactly what you said. They're like, wow, they had to suffer for like 5 years. Wow, what woe is them. We're already back. It's probably so irritating for non-Patriot fans.
Yeah, and the only time I went to a Pats game was during those years of suffering. You took me to a couple games, and the fans were not happy when the Patriots had a losing record. So it's good they turned it around.
They were chanting for Zappy instead of Mac Jones. We saw people get into fights over the Mac Jones drama.
Very aggressive crowd.
Yeah, it was really an ugly stain on a pretty dominant 20 years. But yeah, we're back, and we're probably going to be around for a while. So I'm sure everyone in the country is rooting for Seattle. But fortunately for us, we'll be cheering once again back at the Super Bowl. Smugly per usual. Doesn't help the smug liberal kind of little moniker. But anyway, we got a lot to talk about because once again, the week was crazy. And it's always hard to pick the top story, but I think the top story of this week, it kind of has to be the fact that Trump has said now multiple times he wants to nationalize the elections, referring to the midterms. And why it's such a big deal, obviously, is that's terrifying. And of course, but it's more, and I did the Wednesday show about this, so I'm not going to go too hard on it, and I'm more interested in what you think. But if people are really, really curious, they can listen to the Wednesday show about my whole deep dive on how crazy this is. But yeah, what do you think when you hear this? I mean, I have so much thoughts, but he said, oh, we need to take over the election, we need to nationalize the voting in 15 places. And then he said it again the next day. And then the next day, Steve Bannon said they're going to send ICE to all the polling places to surround the voting booths. Immediate freak out, I think. And at the best case scenario, to me, it feels like just mentally preparing people for some shenanigans. But what do you think?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's taking all the talk about like maybe I'll run for a third term, or maybe like people want a dictator. So that could be me. But it's worse when he gets more specific with it, which I think he did here, because even the concept of nationalizing elections, like, do we really think that was a word and concept in Trump's vocabulary?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point.
Yeah, clearly you have the Stephen Millers and Project 2025 guys like whispering in his ear, being like giving him terrible suggestions.
In parcel tongue. And he's just learning what these words mean. Illegal aliens.
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't know what these words mean.
So it's terrifying. It's like, once again, like people on the left have been warning about these things since before he ran for president the first time. And it's like, just like a sad I told you so of like, we don't want to say it because it's just sad all around and we don't feel good saying it. But
I'd be so happy if they were wrong. Yeah, it'd be unbelievable.
Right. I mean, one thing he said in those same comments was that illegal immigrants are being brought to the United States to vote, which is just such an absurd conspiracy theory that's even dumber than normal Trump conspiracy theories because of like all the risk that's involved to cast one fake vote. move your family across the border illegally to give Kamala Harris one vote in a country of 350 million people. Like, it's just so dumb.
And like, I don't think people realize, I mean, you'd hope that people would realize, but I don't think most people clearly understand that it's illegal for people who are non-U.S. citizens to vote. Like, this isn't something that happens. And there's no proof that this is happening at like some large scale level in any shape or form. This is all part of the narrative of they're going to steal, like they stole the 2020 election. And I already can hear it, Rick, how they're going to frame it. If the Democrats do well, they're going to say, how is that possible with how well Trump did in the last election? That the only explanation for these traditionally conservative districts to have gone blue is if they're fraudulent. And that's so dumb because no, they had 2 years of you being literally horrible as data points to change their minds. And I can just feel it in my bones that that's going to be the argument that they say. And it's going to be a major conspiracy theory.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just like him digging up the Georgia conspiracy theories again. Like, he just cannot believe that Georgia voted for Biden over him. Like, he just still can't believe it 6 years later. And yeah, I mean, he's just setting the groundwork to actually do these things. So then once they're done, they'll already have the planned, like, defenses, I guess. Caroline Leavitt will already have whatever bullshit she's preparing to
she's got that locked and loaded. Yeah. And the president actually thinks it's humorous that he's now in charge of everything. He's actually a martyr. He's actually a hero for taking over the elections. It's also like the admin of it is ridiculous. I mean, this is a lot of what I talked about on Wednesday, but there are 1 million poll workers and like hundreds of thousands of voting places across the country. Like, what are we even talking about here? We're going to replace them all with MAGA vetted people. And also, I think, like, it is really freaking me out. I think not that. So one of the things that I learned this week that maybe, Rick, you didn't know, because I didn't know it, or maybe you already did. So I was on Trump's Truth Social account this week for another story we're going to get to later. But I didn't realize that he's posting 10 times a day at least about how the 2020 election was stolen. Like, he's posting about that and, like, retweeting random accounts that say, like, new evidence unlocked, revealed that so's Georgia, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's doing that literally all day long, every day, like, without fail. And I didn't realize that he was so consistently pumping that narrative out still so actively. Did you know that?
No, I did not know the extent.
Isn't that crazy? Like, that's wild, right?
Yeah, it's wild. He's clearly setting the ground. Like you said, I mean, he's not going to do well in the midterms because it's very rare that a president's party does well in the midterm elections anyway. And that's not even taking into account his 39% approval rating. The economy's not doing well. ICE is kidnapping people on the streets. He's sharing racist Lion King memes, you know, like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's so many reasons to think that the Democrats are going to do well in the midterms. Don't want to jinx it, but
just from default, you know,
right.
Like, I talked about this, I'm going to keep plugging these Wednesday shows, but like a few weeks ago about the China-US thing. Like, countries aren't going to China because they love China. They just don't like the US right now because of Trump. And it's the same with the Democrats. Like, if people vote for Democrats, it's not going to be because of their love for Dems. They hate the Dems.
Right.
But, like, if the house is actively on fire, people are a little bit more willing to try something new, you know? And yeah, I just really am. The saddest part of this whole thing, right? And this is all Trump's fault, is that there's so much distrust now in elections and that is so dangerous because if we don't trust the election process one way or another, like, can democracy even work? Just like more theoretically, because like, isn't that the entire lever that like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what separates you from Russia, right? When they have their fake elections, or some random other countries that have like technical elections every year and they go 100-0 and you're, oh my God, his popularity is 99%. How is that possible? Like, will elections ever be trusted again? You know, what do you think about this?
Yeah, it is scary. And it's funny because the Culture Corner later in this episode, we're going to talk about betting on politics. And what you just said made me think of, like, would you bet on America to continue to have free elections for the next, like, 50 years? Like, I don't know. It's probably, I don't know if I'd want to put money on that.
Yeah. And like, here's a question for you. And this is one I've been thinking about basically all week. This is like kind of what I really want to hear your opinion on. Like, if the midterms come around and Trump and the MAGA people dominate, right? They maintain all three branches, and it's just the continuation. Will you believe, like, will your gut be to believe it?
I think it depends on a lot of things.
Yeah, that's
Like
probably true. Too early to
like
call.
yeah, too early. It depends on the polls, and like people in Trump world think like polls are totally inaccurate, like blah
They're
blah
not.
blah,
Yeah.
but they're not. It's just Trump slightly overperforms polls. But like if you looked at most polling before 2024, like they leaned Trump was going to win that election. Like it wasn't a surprise that he won. Um so and even in 2016, where everyone says, oh, the polls got it completely wrong, like Nate Silver was still giving Trump like a 40% chance of winning, like the day
Yeah.
before the election. Like it's not like it was totally unpredictable. So like I think it depends. Certainly if the midterms were held today and all the signs are not in Trump's favor and Trump and Republicans did unbelievably well, I would definitely be suspicious, which is kind of sad. But how about you?
Same. It's the same. And I hate that so much. I don't want to be the conspiracy guy, And it's just like, especially if over the summer they keep doing these redistricting pushes and stuff like that. It's just going to be so hard to not have that thought. And the fact that me and you are like teetering on like believing a conspiracy, like half the left wing people are going to be wicked into it if that were to happen. And that's going to be a huge talking point, I think. And like, so it almost feels like inevitable that no matter what the results of these midterms are, there's going to be mass conspiracy around that. And I feel like that's so, so depressing. And for context, I don't think people realize that that doesn't have to be the case. Like, in the Al Gore Bush election with all the voting machine drama in Florida and stuff like that, I don't think anyone was thinking that, like, oh, this is rigged by someone or not. And that was like so close. And so the country weathered that pretty well, even though like that was way more fuel for conspiracy than the Trump Biden election. I mean, and then the fact that there's that recording of Trump to the Georgia governor going, "Find me the votes." I mean, I feel like
Right.
that closes the case immediately. And then lastly, to your point of the polls, it's such a good point. People don't know how to handle stats well. I mean, to be fair, they're really hard to understand. But like, if they gave Hillary like a 70% chance to win, that's a 30% chance to lose. That's like 1/3. If I told someone they had a 1/3 chance of having cancer, that mole on their leg was cancer, would you feel confident you don't have cancer? Like, no, you'd be freaking out.
Right.
So like,
People get confused when they hear Hillary had a 70% chance to win. They think that meant that some poll showed Hillary had 70% support, which is completely absurd, right?
exactly. Yeah, 100%. That's not what that means at all. Like
Right.
it will, and to be fair, like people are bad at probability, so it's fine. I wanted to like talk about the Bannon thing because of course Caroline Levitt said like something like we don't have any formalized plans to have ICE at all the polls, but who knows? So they'll probably do it. But I think not only will ICE like, I think that's such like a scam because if they have ICE around the polls and, people vote less, yeah, no shit, they're killing Americans. And especially if you're like on a green card or, well, not that they can vote, but you know what I mean? Like, like non-white people, why wouldn't you be terrified of ICE? They're just racially profiling everyone. So like, there's a chance like, you're just a Mexican American dude walking to the polls. They could grab you and then you can't vote anymore. And they'll say, oh, sorry. Yeah, we got the wrong guy. I mean, they do that all of the time. So like, it's so obviously not just about like checking if people are illegal at the door. And also like, there is no law to say that you need to be even doing that, period. Like, I don't.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like personally, like I'm a white guy born in the United States, and like if I saw a team of a dozen ICE dudes standing in front of a door, like I would definitely feel less safe, not more safe,
Of
than if
course,
they
like a
weren't there.
militarized and like an ICE guy, you know what I mean? Like they kill people.
Right. And we already make it so difficult for people to vote by not having it on a Saturday.
Exactly.
And like limited hours and everything. Like anything that discourages people even more is a win for Republicans because old white people vote at higher rates than anybody else.
100%, and that's why low voter turnouts tend to lean conservative always. So yeah, I just wanted to get ahead of that because I can guarantee you the entire, what's so bad about that? We don't want illegals voting. Like, that's not the point of that. And also not the role of ICE. Like, again, that's not their job. But yeah. So next we have to get to the other, disgusting moment of the week. So this week, Trump shared a meme on Truth Social, like a video with it's funny. It's getting described as an AI style video. It didn't remind me of that. It reminded me of like when people used to share like virtual Christmas cards and they'd cut people's heads and put them on like elves and stuff like that and make them dance. Do you know what I'm talking about, Rick?
Yeah.
Like and they'd be like, "Oh, Santa's coming this year," and it's like your parents on like elves. It was a video like that, and in that video, both Barack and Michelle Obama's heads were copy and pasted onto apes. Obviously, super racist and terrible. Trump said he wouldn't apologize and he didn't make any mistakes. He said it was actually just a staffer that was posting a video. He thought it was a video about the election being stolen, and he thought that was great, which, again, unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, this is not just edgy trolling. This is the most racist thing probably you could do, I think, as a person in the public domain, but not even just at the president. I want to talk about that later. But yeah, pretty terrible. He deleted the post. The staff person got blamed. I don't think anyone's been fired. So yeah, whatever. And yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. This morning I read Jack White's Instagram post about this. Obviously Jack White is a guitarist, musician. And he pointed out that like literally anybody else would be fired from their job for posting this. Like, you can't think of one job in America
100%.
that you would be able to keep your job if your employer was notified that you posted this on social media. He's literally the one. Like,
It's unbelievable.
It's so embarrassing. And it's almost like sometimes with Trump things, in my head, I'm like, is it stupid or racism or both? Like, sometimes it's tough to separate.
Yeah.
But this is so overly over the top racist that like I don't think we can attribute it to like stupidity. Like,
no,
I
he's
think
definitely
this is
racist now.
He's
Yeah.
definitely racist. This is clearly him being racist. And he did it knowing it would cause an uproar because he wants to distract from his name being all over the Epstein files and that being a major story. And this is kind of like, I feel like every week we have another distraction to talk about. But this is like so over the top that, and so I don't know, just like he just had to know what the reaction was going to be to this, and so it's so obviously a distraction, but it's like at the same time, like, we can't just ignore it and pretend he didn't post it. You know what I mean?
100%. And in the past, when he's done racist stuff or whatever, like, like it's people who you could, the classic MAGA point and the conservative point is like, you're calling all of us racist and you're calling all of us fascists or Nazis or whatever. And we always go, no, we're not. We're calling, Trump this because of this particular moment, or conservative politician X. But as Trump continues to be more and more authoritarian, fascist, racist, outwardly, stuff like that, like, it does blend the lines of like, okay, like, can someone who's not racist still support this guy after he posted it? Like,
I don't think so, but
yeah, I know. No, yeah, I know. And like, I think that's the point. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that has now crossed that line. I would have argued maybe a few years, like definitely in the first term, it wasn't so black and white, Like, okay, you voted for Trump. That means you are now burdened by all his beliefs and his actions because of what he's done. But the continued support of someone when they keep showing their color so blatantly and so shamelessly, it is becoming like, it's really entered for sure. Like I think you could have argued for a while now it's entered that, but like I think now like I can't think of any way to argue against it. Like how could someone argue against like oh, no that wasn't racist? You know what I mean? And I'm not a racist for thinking for liking that video.
Right, and it's just like with ICE and immigration, like Trump is going so crazy so fast that the goalposts are moving so quickly that what used to be like, oh, he's only deporting illegal immigrants with violent criminal records. Now he's only deporting illegal immigrants with criminal records. Well, now he's deporting any illegal immigrant because being illegal is a crime. Well, now he's deporting and rounding up American citizens who look Mexican.
Yep.
And now they're actually murdering them in the street. And yeah, there's only so much you can defend. At least with ICE, you could say these people are living in their own social media algorithms, and they're still under the illusion that ICE is only going after violent criminals, which like it's hard to believe that there's people that ignorant that think ICE is only going after rapists and murderers. But I think the MAGA base, a lot of them, that's what they would say if you ask them that, whether
100%.
or not deep down they actually just want to kick out non-white people. With this, like there's literally no defense. Like there's you can't
true.
say, oh, Trump had no idea that apes and monkeys have a history of racism. Like, it's just the most over-the-top racist shit I've ever seen. So,
and also, like, his excuse of, like, oh, I didn't watch the whole video and I just, like, a staff. First of all, why does a staffer have your account detail? You're the president of the United States. And, okay, and here's something I thought I wanted to ask what you thought about. I'm starting to think that we should stop calling him Trump. Just like, cause like I, already throughout the show, I call him Trump all the time. Like everyone calls him Trump, like we do with Obama, right, and Bush and whatnot. But like because Trump's fame was created beforehand, like as a celebrity, sometimes I think he gets treated with the social accountability matrix of a celebrity. And again, to Jack White's point, like any celebrity would lose their job after this. First of all, any good person should lose their job after being associated with Epstein, right? I mean, all those. I wouldn't want to. Would you hire someone who has that many photos with Epstein? I mean, my God, at the minimum, right? But I think like this. I think the real thing that I don't think people on the right really understand, and I don't know why, is that this isn't like a troll account. This isn't like a comedian. This isn't Joe Rogan saying it's so dumb that a comedian has to go on an apology tour for saying a racist joke because it's a joke and blah, 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 blah. Like that's a whole different world. This isn't the same at all in any shape or form. This is the president of the United States. Not only the most, like, it's supposed to be the most prestigious job potentially in the entire world. Like, I know that's a little American-centric, but, like, I would argue because of the level of influence the U.S. has. But, like, one of the most prestigious jobs in the entire world, I think, is safe. And I don't think you would say we should hold Joe Rogan and, Trump to the same standards because one is a comedian and one's the president of the United States. This isn't apples to apples. Liberal cancel culture getting outraged because whatever, some dude said some joke at a comedy club that out of context sounds awful. This is literally the president. And the president shouldn't be trolling at all. The literal job description is lead the country. That's it. That's the only job the president really is focusing on is leading the country. That's it. And I don't understand how anyone thinks that involves being an absolute troll on the internet 8 out of the 24 hours a day and also just outwardly hating half the populace. I just, do you know what I'm saying? I think that's worth pointing out the difference between the social obligation.
For sure. Definitely. And it's a great point, and I think it relates to the discussion of what the right wing thinks of the left wing and what the left wing thinks of the right wing. On this podcast, we try to focus on what the Trump administration is actually doing and saying. Whereas if you listen to Fox News or Tucker Carlson or Joe Rogan, they're focusing on what a random blue-haired college student in Iowa tweeted last night while they were
Yep.
drunk at 2 a.m. about Charlie Kirk. And those people are outraged because a couple literal anonymous children tweeted Charlie Kirk jokes. And, like, we're not supposed to be outraged that the president is tweeting the most racist shit we've ever seen in our lives. Like,
It's unbelievable.
it's a total mismatch of the criticisms of Trump are so focused on what he's saying and doing, whereas MAGA's criticism of the Democrats and the left are basically exaggerated stereotypes from a random person on Twitter that they can find who tweeted, "I love Karl Marx." You know what I mean?
Yeah, or celebrities, right? So a great example of this, right, is, at the Grammys the other day, Billie Eilish said something like, "There's no illegal people on stolen land." And then the Fox News had an absolute field day. "What do you mean stolen land? Blah, 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 blah." And, you could argue the merits of that argument left, whatever you want, right? But even if you thought she was being ridiculous and stupid and undermining the, integrity of ICE or whatever the hell, like, nothing she can possibly say will matter as much as what the president of the United States is saying in terms of implications. Like, nothing. She's a singer. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason to care more about a singer's point of view than the president's point of view because of the role of the presidency. This seems so obvious. I feel like I'm killing brain cells as I said that out loud, but it really seems to be a mismatch. Like,
Yeah,
what are we
100%. It's
talking about?
the Teflon Don. It's like just he's somehow created this media environment where nothing sticks to him and everything has to be justified or misconstrued, and everything, like, his supporters just see everything he says in the best possible light and twist. And yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
It's just
so
wild.
Bad Bunny is performing in the Super Bowl halftime show tonight.
Later
and
today.
This has been,
Yeah.
and the right-wing media sphere is furious about this. So they're having an alternate broadcast where Kid Rock, who sings about how he only likes underage girls in songs, because that's because I guess that's more Christian than Bad Bunny somehow. But yeah, it's the same thing. It's like, it's such manufactured culture war bullshit stuff focusing on what some celebrity says versus arguably the most powerful person in the world.
Like, if Bad Bunny wears a dress at this halftime show or, says anything about ICE or whatnot, which is possible, right? We don't know yet. 40% of this country will be furious, like absolutely furious. And they will be more mad about that than the Trump video the other day, like without a doubt. And again, why are you more mad? And they'll say, well, he's just dividing our country. Like, this is supposed to be a moment of escapism, and Bad Bunny's using this time to divide us when he should be trying to unite us. That's what they'll say. Buddy, that's what the president's whole job is. Uniting the country. And he literally posted a video of the last president who was black being an ape. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what is this? It's such selective outrage. It's so unauthentic. It's so fake. And it's to our point last week, Rick. Like, they don't care. They don't really care. It's all lies. I feel very cynical about them now. Like, not that I ever thought they were like, this super high integrity bunch, but like, it's getting harder by the day.
For sure. It's getting harder, and I'm losing any sliver of optimism I had that anybody in that 39% that currently supports Trump will ever change their minds. And like, it really makes me just want to think more about the 10% of the country that voted for him last election but do not approve of him in polls, and how we can get them to not vote for Trump and his candidates, because I just don't see how like, after this week and the last few weeks with the ICE stuff, like, I don't see how that 35%-ish of the country that is the MAGA base. Like, I just don't see them changing at this point.
There's a real fork in the road right now, I think, amongst this base, where they have to either A, admit that they got duped by a psychopath who duped them, and I understand why they were susceptible to the duping. He's very charismatic, and the economy sucked, and you were like, you know what, I can't take Kamala, she's irritating. You got duped, or continue to support someone who is trying to destroy this country and is a monster. Like, and it's an ego hit. You know what I mean? I understand. Like, it sucks to admit you got duped. Like, it's like when you date a crazy ex, like, you're like, damn, I was in love with a psychopath. Like, we all have been there. You know what I mean? But, like, that's the choice you're going to have to make right now. Am I so insecure that I'm going to double down on this maniac? Or am I going to admit I fucked up?
Exactly.
And that's it. That's the choice. It's a fork.
And I think part of what confuses people here is they don't think they're part of that MAGA base, even while voting for him and still supporting him after everything he's done in the past year. Like, if you ask them, do you think you're a core part of the MAGA voting base? They would say, no, I'm a centrist.
Yep.
And I, would support either one. Like, there's not that large of a group of people that say, I'm an absolute diehard conservative ideologically, and I will never vote for a Democrat solely because they're too liberal and left-wing. Like, the cult of personality of Trump has surpassed the popularity of any individual ideology or political party. So, like, the issue is that when we're talking about, like, the 35% of the country that still really supports him, yes, we're talking about people with MAGA bumper stickers and flags on their front lawn, but that's probably 5% of the population, not 35%, right?
Yeah.
Most of that 35% will support Trump absolutely no matter what, because they're in this cult of personality. And to your point, they don't want to admit they're wrong. But if you ask them their general political views, they wouldn't say, I'm a diehard Trump guy. They would say, I'm a moderate conservative, or I'm a centrist.
And they would definitely say stuff that conflict with Trump. Like, they would be like, I like a small government, free market, whatever the crap, stuff like that. And they just haven't. And you have to remember, too, they've just been ingesting 30 years of Fox hate speech, basically. And every night. They've been getting so mad every night for 30 years, basically. Like, they hate Nancy Pelosi with every cell in their being, but they don't even know who their own rep is. Like, that's most conservatives, like who listen to Fox every night. They know they hate Nancy. They don't know what she even is. They think something about insider trading. They don't even know probably what that means to some extent. But and they don't even know about how Rick Scott does it worse. Like, they don't know this stuff. Yeah, anyway. And before we move on to the next topic, so last week, the clip of the week was Schumer's response to the whole ICE stuff, right? The Minnesota shooting and stuff like that. And just to refresh people's memory, it was posted on his Instagram, and it went something like this.
Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller are fucking liars. Any administration that allows them to continue in...
Basically that's the point. And, we give a lot of grief to Chucky, old boy, on this show for, doing nothing and making everything worse. And we'll talk about him later. But, someone who often, avoids our wrath, and you could say it's a little unfair because he basically does every single thing that Schumer does, is Hakeem Jeffries,
Of course.
The minority leader of the House. She also from New York, also doesn't seem to understand what kind of campaign a Democratic candidate really should have because he doesn't really listen to his supporters. Basically, we could criticize them for the exact same. Do you agree with that? Do you think there's any real major differentiation between them?
Yes and no. In reality, no. But practically speaking, the minority party in the Senate, through the filibuster and other procedural things, have a lot more power to stop bills than the minority party in the House that just needs a simple majority for everything.
That's very true.
Like in
That's
the
a good point.
Senate, it's not just the filibuster. Like there's certain types of bills where you need 60 votes or you need 2/3 votes. And the House just doesn't have that. So like in general, you see that's why in general the House like passes a lot more bills and a lot more bold bills that end up being watered down by the Senate because the Senate has to compromise in order to pass them. So practically, I mean, they kind of are in the same boat, but I think Schumer deserves more flack because he effectively does have more power.
That's right. You're right. That was the actual correct answer. Thank you. However, I do think they are sharing the same social media manager's account because
Yeah.
Hakeem this week, I was curious because obviously he's a guy of color. I was curious what was his response to the Trump posting of the obviously racist thing. Well, we got this.
This disgusting video posted by the so-called president was done intentionally. Donald Trump and his.
And that's it, basically. And I was just thinking to myself, like, someone said, you guys have to say fuck more often. Because it never happened ever, and now within the same week, they're both like
Vile, racist, and malignant behavior.
But like he says all this shit, and he says like I'm calling on the Senate to stop this nonsense. But like, what will he actually do? Like, you know what I mean? They're getting mad. We've gotten to this phase of the politics now. Schumer and Hakeem, they're mad. They're fired up. But what are we getting?
Right. When we beg Schumer and Jeffries to show signs of life, that doesn't just mean saying the word fuck. That we're talking about actual using their levers of power to do something. We're not literally asking for a sign of life like we think they're dead and we want a pulse check, you know?
A full year. Please say something. Why are you so quiet? You wanted me to say something? Fuck Donald Trump. That's it? Dude, like, I'm sick of your Instagram posts. Do something. I would happily
Seriously
sacrifice your Instagrams if it meant you actually passed freaking laws. What are you doing?
Yeah, Eminem said that in a video 10 years ago, okay? It's not new.
And basically his career never was the same after he did his awfully hot coffee pot rap. I mean, like, dude, why do they think that this is what we want? I get it. You're mad. We're mad. Fuck these guys. Yeah. Keep that energy. Because what we saw with Schumer, he immediately folded on the DHS. Now there's going to be a whole new funding thing going on right now. They're negotiating it now because it was such a temporary stopgap. Do something. Someone needs to go. Like, specifically, at the very minimum, the staffer needs to be publicly fired. At the minimum. I don't even believe it was a staffer. Like, I agree with Jeffries. Like, I highly doubt it was a staffer. Someone needs to be fired. Trump this week said he's not going to fire Kristi Noem. This needs to be continually pounded by all the Democratic politicians. They need to be calling for Noem to be fired every single day, not just in like edgy posts about them walking down the street swearing about Trump. Like, do something.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
This pisses me off, dude. And I mean, I'm glad. Am I glad that he's a little emotional here? I mean, obviously he should be. He's a dude of color, and the guy just said the most racist thing you could possibly do. Like, yeah, like I get it. I'm sure he is pissed, but like, dude, like, I don't know. Like, incorporate this into something. I hate. There's just something about these guys when they say like, yeah, you know, like someone's got to do something, and I'm like, dude, you work there.
Right.
Like, Hakeem, that's your literal job. Chuck, that's your job. Like, stop. Both of them are culpable of hoping that the American people will bail them out.
Right. It's like since Trump took office in this term a year ago, I feel like Jeffries and Schumer are just waiting for the midterms.
100%.
Like they're still 10 months away. You got to start working.
And like, your base hates you. like, do they know that? Has anyone told them that Chuck Schumer going on more podcasts won't help? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I worry that this is what they think is the right answer, when in reality, they couldn't be further from the truth. You know what I mean? Like, you agree with me, right? Like, that gives you the same thought? Like, when you see that?
Yeah, 100%. It makes me cringe, and I'm somebody that thinks politicians should talk like normal people and swear and use normal language. Like, I'm not, like, we're not overly PC, you know what I mean?
No,
like,
yeah, here we are. Yeah.
Like, they should talk like normal people. The issue is that Chuck Schumer's been a politician for 50 years, and he's never talked like a normal person until last week.
No, and then Hakeem Jeffries doesn't show up to freaking his inauguration, and has done really nothing other than post like menacing photos on Instagram. Dude, I don't know if you saw the Daily Show like a few months ago, but he like was holding a photo of like a bat. Him holding a bat.
No,
bat.
it is funny you mentioned that though, because yesterday I noticed Chuck Schumer's Instagram profile picture is him like pointing very aggressively. Like it looks like he's yelling at somebody, like screaming at somebody and point. It's like there's no video of him showing that much emotion, but he was able to get a photo of him, so it's his profile picture now.
Well, and like this week, right? This week, Schumer was at an AIPAC conference or whatnot, and he was recorded saying this. I'm going to play this clip.
The fight for aid to Israel, all the aid that Israel needs. I will continue to fight for it. And we delivered more security assistance to Israel, our ally, under my leadership than ever before. We will keep doing that, everybody.
I'm sure that's going to play really well with your liberal base. Like, read the room. I know he's reading his AIPAC room, but like read the country. Like,
he's reading the Torah, but no.
And it's like, dude, like this, like, you do realize that Israel like literally killed thousands and thousands of Palestinians. It was an international crisis. Netanyahu is now wanted as a war criminal, and you're parading around how you're going to keep giving them money. Like,
right, and it's
weapons.
not.
It's like, what are you doing, dude?
It's just he just really only cares about donations, and also like Mamdani just proved that you don't have to be overly pro-Israel to win an election in New York City, the Jewish capital of the United States. Like
100%.
Mamdani, like, he perfectly walked the line of being like, listen, I'm running for mayor of New York City. Like, I'm not going to have control over Israel policy. But at the same time, I don't think we should be continuing to fund their
war machine.
Crazy military. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jeffries and Schumer, I mean, learned nothing from the Zoran election. Didn't Jeffries wait until like the day before the election to endorse him?
Yep, and then didn't show up to the inauguration, even though he represents Brooklyn, like, which is in the freaking city. It's unreal, dude. And Bernie Sanders, once again, is the exact way to handle this, he always just says, I hate Netanyahu, the war machine is disgusting, the Israeli government is a joke. So he never like says like Israel shouldn't exist or like blah, blah, blah. He just constantly focuses on the Israeli government, which is what is actually causing the problem. And that's exactly how it should be discussed by these guys.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be about anti-Israel. It's about the government of Israel and what they've been doing. Like, right. I don't understand how that's so difficult. How can Schumer be like, no one gives them more money than me? Whee! Like, it's so sad because he literally lost. Like, I don't think people realize that, like, does he not realize that was the number one reason why people said they didn't vote for Kamala, that were left wing? Like, it's just a joke.
It's one of the few issues where there's still agreement between Trump and the Republican Party and some Democrats.
Yeah.
They agree that we should continue giving blank checks to Israel, which is absurd. But sadly,
what they're doing.
Right.
I mean,
it's just the only reason that Jeffries would continue being that hardcore about it is the money, is the APAC
Of course. Well, APAC
money.
money. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They
is the
both of them. Him and
donations.
Schumer get a bunch from them. And
Yeah.
but that's like, I worry that this is exactly the level of lack of awareness that loses them elections. But anyways, speaking about Schumer, before we get on to the Clintons, another family that continually plagues the left. So last week, there's all these negotiations between, Trump and Schumer about the funding, because like we were talking about, like that's going to be coming up over the next few weeks. So apparently, according to multiple outlets, that Schumer said Trump said he'll fund the infrastructure bill if Schumer agrees to rename Penn Station and the airport, Dulles Airport, after him. And Schumer said he'll think about it. Basically, I'm sorry, but if he does this, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's so insane. And yeah, so I guess Schumer's obviously, so Trump is claiming that Schumer came up with the idea and said we should name Penn Station after you. Now, obviously, Schumer is denying that.
I hate Chuck. I can't take this guy. I don't hate him, but
But then, yeah, they did Trump's team did double down on renaming Dulles Airport after, with a quote of like, there's 2 airports in D.C. and one of them's Reagan, so the other one should be Trump. Because, the D.C. airport's named Reagan.
Which makes way more sense, by the way. Like, I mean, like, it's just, Trump is the worst president of all time. And people are going to, here's another thing too. Do you think that, hopefully when Trump is gone and whatnot, like, do you think the Democratic president is going to rename all of this stuff? And this is just going to be continually a culture topic, like the Gulf of America or the Kennedy Center or whatnot, like, and whatever Trump continues to name after himself and all the plaques and stuff, like they're going to take that down, but then some conservative is going to put it back up. And I feel like this is just going to be a baton that happens. Or do you think it'll die down over time?
Yeah, I think that will happen, but it's solely because Trump is acting like a maniac. It's not normal to still be in office and renaming things after yourself. Like, that's not, it's usually 50 years down the road of people going, oh, this president, just passed away. Let's name, this
a library or
Herbert Hoover Highway or something. Yeah. Like, it's not normal that the sitting like, can you imagine Obama being like, we should Pennsylvania Ave should be Obama Ave? Like, what? Why? We can't wait 10 years.
Center Biden Center.
Yeah.
This should be the Biden Palace now. And building the Biden Ballroom and the Biden Ark. They want to build a giant ark now. That's like a new thing, like Napoleon. I think he likes Napoleon. And the Trump-Napoleon Venn diagram is very high, like highly correlated. I think that might be.
And of course, this is Trump's whole pre-presidential image, right? Is he plasters his name in gold on all his buildings. So it makes sense.
Do you think Schumer will do it, though? Do you think we could see a world where this continue? I mean, it's kind of what the Venezuela woman did, right? Venezuelan woman over the Nobel Prize. Like, is this the new move? Just call everything, Trump wind, Trump this, Trump that.
If Schumer can negotiate a genuine win by giving Penn Station name to Trump, then I'm all for it. Like, desperate times call for desperate measures. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
If they're negotiating defunding ICE, and in that negotiated bill, it's changing Penn Station to Trump Station, okay, let's do it. Give Trump his Nobel Pity Prize and, tuck him into bed with a Big Mac because, like, so he could be happy and stop terrorizing us. Like, honestly, like, sadly, we're in that desperate times that, like, anything should be on the table. Now, I don't trust Schumer's negotiating abilities, so I can easily see him continuing to fund ICE and renaming Penn Station to Trump.
That's what I see too.
And being like, but I got this promise that in 2 years they'll renew the healthcare credits or something. You know what I mean?
100%. And yeah, I mean, to the naming thing too. I mean, so this week they launched TrumpRx, which he's billing as this like haven drug thing. What it does is it's a website that links you to like drug coupons. So a lot of like drug companies will like have discount codes and coupons for uninsured people. And so what this does is if you click like Ozempic or whatnot, it'll take you to the Ozempic discount code. So it's unclear if this will actually do anything, but a great example of how now there's a government website called TrumpRx.gov, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, and also there's this little known website, GoodRx, that is this
The
exact thing. It has existed for years, and like Trump is selling it as this massive win where he got lower prices on everything. We're talking about aggregating coupons.
Coupons. Yeah, exactly.
We're talking about a coupon aggregate website.
They made those in the 70s, the coupon booklets. He's just made a booklet of coupons and put it on a website.
It's like, can we please have healthcare? No, but you can have all your coupons in one place. And when I say all, I mean only 20 drugs. Not the tens of thousands that people need.
It's literally just freaking it's freaking like what's it called?
He's trying to sell it like Mark Cuban's website, but Mark Cuban's website is actually selling you generics at lower prices.
And
it's not just coupons.
Have you actually seen the website?
No.
On the homepage, there's a giant golden eagle holding a banner that says TrumpRx. I'm going to take a picture and send it to you live. It's unbelievable. It's actually like, I encourage anyone listening right now to go to the TrumpRx website and go to the bottom, and you can see what I just sent Rick. But yeah, unreal, and what a time to be alive. The next news story, speaking of crazy ones. So Bill and Hillary Clinton have agreed to sit in for depositions over the Epstein stuff with the Oversight Committee. They've also agreed that they will film it, which is kind of interesting. So this will be interesting because what do you think Bill Clinton and them are just going to be like, yep, we were there and we saw Trump every single day? Like
they don't have much to lose at this point.
Did you see the golden eagle, by the way?
Yeah, it's crazy. I like how you can barely make out the RX too, so it's just an eagle with Trump on it, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so ridiculous.
I mean, the fact that the Clintons are calling for public hearings, like, I think Bill was probably as close with Epstein as Trump was.
Yeah, for sure.
Regardless, they were all good friends. But like, just who is defending Bill Clinton at this point? Like, I haven't heard a defense of Bill Clinton since Hillary was running for president 11 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know any. You always hear every time the Epstein files are in the news again, oh, but Bill Clinton is in them. He's in some of the files. Like, the Democrats aren't going to like that. Nobody cares about Bill Clinton anymore. Truly, nobody cares. He was outed as a creep before he even ran for president. Then he had the most infamous sex scandal in U.S. history during his presidency.
Yeah.
And that was 30 years ago. And the right is still being like, yeah, but did you hear Bill Clinton's a creep too?
Yeah, and we're all like, we don't care.
Like, I don't know how to say it anymore that we don't care.
Dude, I love how when we go, Elon was in the files, like, oh, what about Bill Gates? Yeah, fuck that guy. I don't care about Bill Gates. I don't have an emotional, these aren't my idols.
I didn't vote for Bill Gates.
I don't care. I don't like Bill Gates. I never thought I liked Bill Gates.
I don't have a golden eagle with Bill Gates' name on it.
I now have a poster of Bill Gates in my house. I don't care. I don't care about Elon. I don't care about any of these guys. Even if guys I liked did this stuff, I wouldn't care. They go, oh, Obama gave Bill Gates a medal. I don't care. Throw Bill Gates away. I don't care. I don't take personal, like, I don't identify my identity with Obama's actions. I liked Obama. I think Obama was a good president. If Obama literally was best friends with Epstein, I would no longer be friends with Obama anymore. I would not like Obama anymore. Like, I don't have a relationship with these guys. I don't have an idolization of these guys. I could give a fuck. I don't care. Like, I don't understand why MAGA keeps trying to project their cult behavior onto us. Arrest Clinton. Arrest them all. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about any of these guys. Larry Sumner's gone. Dershowitz, all of these guys, all of them need to go. The whole lot of them. Anyone who was with Epstein, they should be handled the way like the UK is handling these people. Gone. Lose their jobs. All gone. I hate them all. They're all creeps. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Right. If Bill Clinton was president now and this stuff came out, I would say impeach Bill Clinton.
100%.
You know,
it wouldn't even
like
be a
I
doubt.
truly don't
Gone.
care.
I don't care. It would if it was Biden, if it was Obama, it was anyone. I wouldn't care.
And
it doesn't matter.
We should point out again this week. We mentioned it last week. Even more people from the files around the world are all losing their jobs in disgrace. Yep. Like every day, some new like advisor to the Polish government or whatever like has to resign because they were in the Epstein files 3 times. And Trump, I mean, I don't even know what the count is up to, 20,000 times or something.
Tens of
some
thousands.
insane number.
Yeah.
Like this, it really is impeach worthy in and of itself. And there's so many other reasons to impeach Trump. Obviously ICE, obviously bribes, how open he is about corruption, like no president
Crypto
has ever
stuff.
been.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in and of itself, being best friends with the pedo and specifically being on video saying we're friends because we both like girls.
Yeah.
Like I just, there's no more evidence. Like I don't know what people need. But yeah, the cult of personality is quite strong these days.
It's absolutely wild. And quick rapid fire of some of these other news stories before we get to the corner. Oh, This month, there was the worst job cuts report since 2009, so that's how many people lost their jobs in a month. It was 108,000 job cuts in January 26, up 200% from January, and the highest January total since 2009. So, yeah. Not good for jobs, not good for the economy. A ton of layoffs are happening. At the same time, Trump announced that he will planning to install a Christopher Columbus statue at the White House. Unreal. just absolutely ridiculous. Look, you may be a pro Christopher Columbus. I know a lot of Italian Americans love Mr. Christopher. Fair enough. You know, he's an Italian guy. He didn't really do anything for America. I don't know what to tell you. Like, he's really not related to this country at all in any shape or form.
May have committed genocide, but also a pretty chill Italian dude on the side.
Exactly. At worst, he's a genocidal maniac. At best, he found the land after another dude had already found it and is from Italy.
Makes a mean gabagool.
Yeah, makes a hell of a pasta fajoule. I don't know, whatever. This week, the U.S. ambassador to Poland said he's cutting ties with Poland after a Polish speaker said that Trump should never even be considered for a Nobel Prize. Unbelievable. You would think a place that's like in frontline security risks of this Ukraine war would be someone that you'd want to be focused on. Instead, he's throwing pity party attacks like a 7-year-old. Any thoughts on that one, Rick?
No, just that like Trump is still close friends with the Polish president. I think it's president, not PM. But yeah, so this is basically like another politician there that Trump's fighting with. But yeah, it's just, I mean, imagine being a diplomat who worked so hard your whole life, and then you have to deal with this guy.
It's the biggest embarrassment I've ever felt for my nationality is every week with this guy. Like, I've never felt truly this embarrassed about my country more than every single week on this I keep thinking I cannot feel more apologetic to other people, and I keep feeling worse. Now I have to feel bad for Polish people. Like now
yeah,
I'm like damn.
Think about when we started the podcast like almost a year ago, and we would make that point about being embarrassed, and it's like we didn't even know what was coming.
No.
Like the past 2 weeks alone have been a complete disaster.
I feel like, where is safe? Where can I travel to now where I don't have to start apologizing as soon as I step foot in the country? Like, every country he's personally offended. Like, it's not just him being a jerk. He goes after these random countries from...
Honestly, like Saudi Arabia is probably your best bet.
Well, they love you. Anywhere with a king likes you. Speaking of which, one thing that was reported by the Financial Times this week was that an Emirati royal, Sheikh Tanoon bin Zayed, invested around $500 million into the Trump family crypto group. So they own around 49% of the company. Pretty weird now that all these crypto allegations and Trump's net worth has gone up almost $4 billion via the crypto, that now there's this secret stake thing that, like, they didn't even announce publicly until now, that almost half the country is owned by an Emirati royal.
Yep, exactly.
It's almost like crypto is the easiest way to accept bribes, and a dude who owns half your company would have a great way to accept bribes. I don't know. That's just me. Like, yeah, well, we saw with Qatar, right? They gave him the jet, and then he gave them the base, which was wonderful. This one made me laugh. So we don't talk about her a lot. Nancy Mace, she's a congresswoman she's from South Carolina. She gets the news every now and then for something usually anti-woman. She definitely hates abortion and gay people. She really has gone out on a limb to make sure that she gets this. The New York Magazine this week wrote out that staff were often told to do late night alcohol errands for her. But more interestingly, they were directed to flood Reddit saying that she's the hottest woman in Congress. So she was using her staff to do that. I just thought that was so funny. Like, what a nut job.
Yeah, that's a crazy 1-2 punch. Like, bring me tequila at 2 a.m. and also go on Reddit and call me hot. Right. And you're just like a college intern. I guess
20
this is
years
how
old.
politics works.
I can't even legally buy alcohol, Nancy. Bring me a fucking give me a bottle of vodka and tell everyone I have a great body. It's so embarrassing. Like, she should be so embarrassed that she's doing this. Just unreal.
Yeah.
And also, like, a great sign of, like, I mean, my God. That go completely under the radar, by the way. I didn't hear anything about that. She should lose her job, I think. Someone serious? But, and then lastly, before we get to the culture corner, I wanted to ask you about your thoughts on how Trump isn't going to the Super Bowl and he didn't go to the Winter Olympic Open. J.D. Vance did go, got booed like crazy. What do you think about this? I mean, like, the obvious one is that he just doesn't want to eat those boos. But, like, if he knows he'll get booed like crazy, how does he not know that he sucks? Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it just, like, you know what I mean? Like, does he think the entire Super Bowl stadium's full of Antifa?
Right.
Like, what do you think about that?
He definitely doesn't want to eat the booze. But yeah, I think you just made a good point where it's like he doesn't want to eat the booze from a group of people like the Super Bowl crowd, which is not remotely left-wing or Democrat or anything. You know what I mean? Like, in
100%.
his mind, football fans should love him universally because they tend to be white and super American.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, I mean, there's a reason the only sport he goes to now is UFC because it's the only sport where, like, every single athlete praises him and there's not one athlete that will speak out against him.
Exactly. And it's one of those things that, like, you know, when you're a fan of, like, I'm a huge football fan, and, like, you know, you always have to reconcile the NFL being pretty disgusting as an organization and what they do, and, you know, the owners being, you know, like people like Kraft being a big Trump guy and like that. Like, how do you compartmentalize it? You know, whatever. It's just, I don't really see any of this as it just, you know, like, it's almost like dehumanizing, but it's just like, yeah, they're having fun, whatever. But, like, yeah, he got booed like fucking crazy. When he did the Commanders game, he went into the booth, they all booed him. Remember, like, a few months ago?
Yeah.
That really must have scarred him.
And J.D. Vance just got booed.
Big time. Well, that makes
yeah.
more sense internationally because everyone hates us internationally. But I feel like you're right, the Super Bowl audience, you'd hope if you were Trump that they would like you. But yeah, I mean, it's a good sign that it really is coming around how unpopular he is and how disliked he is.
Yeah, and I like how in his excuse of why he's not going, he said it's just too far away. It's like, you're the president of the whole country, right?
You do realize that you were like in like the Philippines like a few weeks ago.
Maybe if it was in Hawaii, I would understand.
Maybe if it was in Mar-a-Lago. Oh, and it's just like, yeah, I mean, the UFC, we should do a whole thing about the UFC one day because it's so much to talk about him and Dana.
Yeah,
Their
for sure.
relationship's so interesting. But let us get to my favorite time of the show.
It's time for Rick's Cultural Corner.
Thank you, Linda. Segues nicely from that last topic, talking about betting apps. So obviously sports betting is absolutely massive. Why has it gotten so big? As a reminder, there was a Supreme Court decision in 2018 that basically struck down a law that prohibited it in states. The Supreme Court basically ruled that the law was unconstitutional because it should be a states' rights issue, so that gave the power back to the states. And then since 2018, about 40 out of 50 states have totally legalized sports betting apps. So just a few stats before we get into the main focus of the Culture Corner. In 2024, Americans bet nearly $150 billion on sports.
It's unbelievable.
One study found that 30% of sports bettors say they have debts related to sports betting, and over 15% of sports bettors have taken out a personal loan to fund their wages. And 1/4 of all sports bettors say they have been unable to pay a bill because of it.
That's so wild. I'm sorry, but wow.
Right. Keep in mind, like, these numbers are like doubling every year since it's been legal. Like, this is all a brand new thing.
It's unreal, dude. Like, just even you saying that's crazy.
Right. And just like people talk about like social media and smartphones in everyone's pocket being like a science experiment that we're all just living through because we don't know the actual long-term effects. Like, it very much applies here.
100%. Yeah.
You've never been able to instantaneously bet on not just the scores of games, but, this pitcher is going to throw a ball on the first pitch. The parlays and everything have gotten insane. Obviously, it's affecting men more than women. One study found that 42% of American males said they have bet on sports in the past year, compared with 21% of females. And a recent study from October 2025 found that 43% of adults say that legal sports betting is a bad thing for society. That's up 9% from only 2.5 years before.
Wow.
So clearly people are starting to realize, like, hey, maybe this wasn't a great idea
to have it on your phone, especially.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I'm kind of a libertarian on a lot of like non-economic things where it's like, I don't know if the federal government should really be like so involved in people's personal lives. And like, I do think sports betting should be legal, but I don't think the apps on the phone should be legal. I think you should have to go to a casino that's highly regulated to place a bet.
100%. I completely agree with that.
Because then it's totally like the addictiveness of it. Like, it's just when you think about like other addictions, like drug addictions, like you have to keep hitting up a drug dealer for more drugs. You don't have an endless supply of drugs in your pocket at all times.
100%. Yeah, exactly. You need to keep making that physical choice of like showing up.
Right. So I thought in light of all that, I thought we'd talk about these other betting apps. So they're also called prediction market platforms when they're not specifically only sports betting. But the biggest one is Kalshi. So Kalshi is a prediction market. I honestly first heard about it because I just started getting tons of ads on Reddit for it,
So
like
many ads.
a year or two ago, like before the 2024 election. They were like, "Are you sure you don't want to bet money on Kamala Harris?" I was like, "No, I think she's probably going to lose." So
I'm good. Yeah.
But yeah, so it describes itself as a prediction market platform. And basically in the past 3 years, they've been fighting the federal government on all sorts of things. So first, the CTFC, which is, let me see, the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. So In 2022, they started prosecuting Kalshi, raising concerns over the effects on electoral integrity, because the big thing with Kalshi, like we said, is like you could bet on political elections. And the Trading Commission argued that, like, basically the app should be illegal because they don't have any realistic ability to regulate this in any way, in the way that other betting is regulated. But Kalshi argues, this is kind of crazy, but they argue that betting on a political event would actually improve oversight to political and economic developments while also providing more accurate forecasting data. So they're basically arguing that they serve a necessary purpose in politics by being more accurate than pollsters.
It's so upsetting.
It's
basically like, that's like saying like sports would be more real if Vegas knew the outcome. Knew if something was rigged, because, well, you wouldn't want the mafia coming after you. Right? Like, isn't that what that's saying?
Yeah. And like
Oh my
these
God.
companies, it's just, there's no shame. So just in the past year, Kalshi started creating a student ambassador program where college students could sign up to promote Kalshi on their campuses and start clubs
This is
for betting
unreal.
on elections. Following backlash, they took down the webpage dedicated to it. But Kalshi has also been criticized for allowing bets on life and death issues. For example, whether Gaza should be bombed by Israel. And this one's even worse, whether the Palestinian population will continue to suffer from a food shortage.
Ooh.
Imagine being the person that sets up that on their app. But then also imagine being anybody that bets on that too.
It's like Squid Games. Like,
Right.
like it's so fucked up.
It's
It's so bad.
It's so, yeah. It's
just so bad. It's so dark, you know? Like, it's so dark.
Yeah, and it's just like, how is this legal? Like, how did we get here?
Well, it's like the late stage capitalism argument, right? Like, they've run out of things to make money on, so now we have to bet on Palestinians dying.
Right. And so then along came this company called Polymarket, and they said, they looked at what Kalshi was doing and said, you guys, your morals are too high.
You guys are too moral.
Yeah. So Polymarket is also a prediction market. They claim they're based in crypto, but you can use normal bank accounts for it too. So just in July, the FTC, the CFTC, and the Department of Justice ended an investigation into Polymarket that was started under the Biden administration. And then coincidentally, at the very same time, Donald Trump Jr. became an official advisor.
Yep. What a funny coincidence. what a funny, just by chance that happened.
Not even trying to hide it.
They never do, though. That's like the whole thing with these guys nowadays. They don't even try to hide any of this stuff.
Right. And so, yeah, if you thought the Kalshi stuff was bad, I went on Polymarket's Instagram because I wanted to get an impression of, like, I didn't just want to know, like, what's the worst thing that you're allowing bets on. Obviously, Palestinian people starving. I don't see how you can get worse than that, but
yeah,
like, I wanted kind of to get a fair representation of the types of stuff on the app, not just the worst ones. So I made a short list of things that Polymarket has posted on their Instagram in the past 2 weeks alone, strictly in the past 2 weeks. These are things they posted on their Instagram saying, go on our app, you can bet on this in either direction. Traders predict a 21% chance someone will be jailed over Epstein. They predict a 5% chance Epstein will be confirmed as alive before 2027. So, like, all of these things are live bets that you can make bets on. Whether or not there will be a new pandemic this year, whether or not the U.S. will acquire part of Greenland, whether or not there will be more foreign intervention in Gaza by the end of March. So, like, this is how specific, like, when I talked about the example of, like, baseball, you can bet on individual pitches. Like, it's not just betting on broad election outcomes. Like you're betting on like, will Trump say the word poo-poo by April? You know, like it's
Wait, that wasn't a real one, was it?
no. He will though.
Yeah,
I would
I
bet
feel
on
like poo-poo's on the horizon any moment. That feels safe.
Here's a few more. 16% predict Trump will invoke the Insurrection Act by the end of January. But it's also like the fact that these have thousands of people betting in both directions. Like, who are the people being like, you know what? I have faith that Trump will not invoke the Insurrection Act. I'm going to put down $500
I want to
from
make
my
a quick
paycheck.
buck.
Yeah.
I want to make a. Who's also paying these out? The app? Like, are they like the casino in this case? Like, how much money do they have in their like coffers that they can like afford that much volatility? You know what I mean? Like,
Right. They're just taking in so much.
fees.
It's just like
There must be so much fees.
right.
So
It's
much
just like
of it.
anybody that watches sports is like, how is every sport completely dominated by ads for sports betting? And it's like these companies have unlimited money.
Unlimited. Yeah, they just have unlimited money. Yeah.
So here's a few others. Will the U.S. and Iran resume nuclear talks before April? It gets dark here.
Okay.
Will Trump deport 400 to 500,000 people this year? 21% people say yes. Will Trump deport more than 1 million people this year? And following the Alex Pretty shooting, will the ICE shooter be charged with a crime? Yeah, so
It's awful. I mean,
it's unbelievable, but also when you think about how big sports betting is, it is kind of logical that we're in this place. It's just like, it seems to me another one, it's just like how in America we allow unlimited campaign donations to super PACs and most of the rest of the world is like, why the hell is that legal in America? That's the dumbest thing ever. Like,
yeah.
you just allow
so
unlimited corruption to buy elections. Like, why would you not make that illegal? I feel like that's like where we are with this now. But
And it's
yeah,
also so
what are your thoughts on this?
susceptible. I mean, it's horrible. It's okay. So, like, all right, as I get closer to the mic, I mean, my immediate thoughts are that this is the bad place and this is hell. We are literally living in hell. Like, I am in hell right now, and I've already died, and this is hell. I mean, how could anyone in good conscience say any of this makes sense? Like you said about the election, like that's a great example. But like it's so what it proves to me, you know, more than anything, I think, is this kind of set like drumbeat that society's heading towards where there's this like almost it's like so dystopian, but it's like you know, like in Hunger Games, like there's that really rich crew and they have all of the poor communities like fight each other with children. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that setup is becoming more and more real, even if it doesn't show itself via like a Hunger Games activity, in the sense that like the wealthiest people from all around the world, but especially in the US, but definitely all around the world, because there's nothing that stops people from other countries just betting on this crap, especially if they accept crypto, which I'm almost positive they will. I don't even know that for sure, but I'm guessing they do. So like it's so obvious that the wealthy, like the mega wealthy, like the billionaires and stuff like this and the elites of this world are so bored with their incessant greed that they've now turned to like gambling on the fate of just other people. It's like it's not race. It's like how racism was justified, but it's classism, but it's not even like that's not even strong enough. You know what I mean? Like it's really treating poor people, and when I say poor, I'm not talking about like actual people in poverty. I'm talking about anyone who's not in their elite class, like as lesser humans, and like gambling on the fates of them like they're like this pseudo god class. Like to me, that's what this feels like. This feels like, and especially when you contribute other kind of, you know, technology, AI stuff, and like just the way wealth inequality is going, and the way like they're being so outwardly creepy about everything like this. Like it's like so much like that. Like it's like this like creepy elite class treating people not as wealthy of them as lesser than. And then now like these are the first like cracks in the system of just showing how little they care about the life of others who aren't in their bubble. Does that make sense? Like, and like, this is like a good moment of that, like kind of coming through to the surface of like, this is how they see people in a way. And just like in other kind of creepy dystopian things, like the poor people, there are always a segment of the people who aren't in the club who side with the people who they're not in the club with. You know what I mean? Like, because they just want to be liked by these people so much. Like, this is what's happening, I feel like, not to get too philosophical, but like, and like, this is like examples of that, I think. I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think I'm crazy?
No, I definitely agree. It's part they're seeing all these people that they're betting on their livelihoods as not full people.
Yeah.
And then it's partly they have so much money that they don't know what to do with because they're already spending hundreds of billions of dollars to fund candidates so the candidates don't raise their taxes by 2%. Like, they're already spending all that money, but it's not enough. They want the rush and they want to be in on the game more. I mean, that's what you see in all these DraftKings and BetMGM ads, right? Get in on the game. Make it more exciting. Like, that's how they're allowed to legally advertise. Like, make it more exciting. You know, get in. You can be like a player on the field.
And there's always been this kind of culture in like casinos, you know what I mean? The super rich and their weird, creepy betting, you know what I mean? And we're seeing
like
this now.
There's in most casinos, there's private rooms where, you know, the minimum is $10K or $100K to even get in that room.
And you can argue
the
the Epstein thing is proving this to a point too, you know? Like, these billionaires and wealthy elites are so bored and so weird that they were like enjoying their creepy little pedophile rings, you know? Like, that they absolutely didn't have to do. But they do because they're so creepy and rich and demented. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is kind of one and the same. It's like the Bohemian Grove and the weird Mar-a-Lago with them in dog mask. Like, they're just so bored. Or like in One Bad Apple After Another, the Christmas Club. You know what I mean? Like, it's all kind of that in a way to me. And then these are like moments of it being kind of revealed, like, to the commoners, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I mean, once you get to a level of rich, like, your dopamine sensors are messed up. You know what I mean? Like, these people are looking for weird ways to have fun because normal things aren't fun anymore.
100%. And I'll end on this note that might make you vomit live on air. No. So, you know, Elon Musk is the wealthiest person in the world. His net worth currently, as of February, is $839 billion, which is disgusting in itself.
I did not know that.
The number 2 wealthiest person in the world is Larry Page. Okay. His net worth is $267 billion, which is meaning that we are closer to Larry Page than Larry Page is to Elon.
Yeah, that's wild.
Put that into like, think about that. Like, we are closer to Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, all these guys than they are to Elon Musk by a magnitude, by like orders of magnitude. Like, it's not just like close, like it's ginormously apart.
Right. And the only billionaire we know is George Soros because he funds this podcast.
Thank God. Georgie boy. Oh, my God. Who's conveniently not in these files, by the way. The Epstein. Yeah, what happened, guys? The one guy that they added in on the right. But yeah, I was talking about this with Lucas, actually, a friend of ours. The conspiracy theorists can definitely take a victory lap here with the billionaire pedophile ring. They nailed it.
Yeah, for sure. No, they absolutely nailed it. It's just a subset of them that said Trump was coming in to fight the billionaire pedophiles.
That's who
did not nail it.
Yeah, exactly. The right-wing version of them, but the pure tinfoil hat guys, they nailed it.
Yep.
Yeah, so we you know, we'll admit it. I don't like giving conspiracy theorists their flowers too often, but they get this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, Rick, thanks.
Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later, dude. And that's our show, folks. Thank you so much for listening today. If you like the show, like I said off the top,
and you made it this long. Hey, you're a real trooper, and I really appreciate you. But yeah, like it, review it, all that stuff. Tell people about the show. That always really helps as well. A lot of you are incredible at that, and I really appreciate all of you very, very much. So does Rick. He's not just like, eh. No, we really appreciate you guys. Write us in at thelonelyliberalpodcast@gmail.com. Let me know what you think. I love getting emails and whatnot. Yeah, enjoy the Super Bowl if you're watching. Go Pats. I mean, unless you're from New England, then you'll probably also be with me. If you're not from New England, you're most likely rooting for the Seahawks, and I get it, but I will be going Pats. Drake May rules. I'll talk to you later. Bye.